Do you wonder if others are dealing with the same project management challenges as you? Not sure where to turn for guidance and leadership? Office Hours are in session as we discuss project management and PMOs with global leaders, hearing their story and learning their secrets to success. Our goal is to empower you and help you elevate your PMO and project management career to new heights. Welcome back to Project Management Office Hours with your host, PMO Joe.
Welcome, everyone, to Project Management Office Hours. We're the #1 live project management radio show in the United States, broadcasting to you today from the Phoenix Business Radio X studios in Tempe, Arizona. I'm your host, PMO Joe, and for the next hour or so, we'll be talking project management. We have a very special show today, as I'm excited to have our guest joining us live from Ukraine. So it's going to be great to speak with them and get some perspective on the real situation there and not just what we hear on the news. We'll be able to get some firsthand accounts. Before we get into the show, just a couple of announcements. I want to celebrate and acknowledge that Phoenix Business Radio X, where our home, has just celebrated their 5th birthday. So a clap out to the radio station. It's such an amazing accomplishment under the leadership of Karen Nowicki to bring so many great radio shows and podcasts to the world out of our little studio home here in Tempe, Arizona. So it's fantastic what we've been able to do. Special thanks to all the team who have supported us over those 5 years, including Daryl Robinson, who's here producing our shows as always, Angie Shields, Kendra Maples, Kelly Lorenzen, and everybody else back in the Atlanta headquarters who helps make these shows possible. So congratulations on 5 years. It's been a great trip and look forward to the next 5 and beyond. It's going to be a lot of fun. Reminder to everybody that we are live. So add a comment. Let us know where you're joining us from. It's always great to be able to see where guests are, where our audience is. And if you have questions, feel free to enter the comment in there as well. And we'll try to address all the different comments and questions that we get as the show goes on. A reminder that each of these shows is about an hour in length, so they count for 1 PDU, right? What a great opportunity for those that are trying to get your recertifications in place. This is episode 105, so you have 105 PDUs out there if you go and listen to all the shows, but don't do it just because you're getting a PDU. Get it because you're listening to great guests and you're hearing their story with great experiences from some of the best leaders in the world within our industry. And with that, I am very excited to have our special guest with us today, Mariia Abdullina, Oleg Matsaluk, and Mykola Stefanishin. Welcome, Mariia, Oleg, and Mykola.
Hello, Joy. Hello.
Hello. So I want to have each of you say hello and introduce yourselves, and we'll put Mariia, if you want to go first.
Yeah, sure. So hello, Joy. Hello, everyone who is listening to us today. It is very nice to meet you again in such a nice and warm atmosphere. And thank you, Joy, for inviting us here to your show. It's really great pleasure and great honor for us to be here and share our story and experience. So my name is Mariia Abdullina. I'm head of Project Portfolio and Efficiency Management Division in Raiffeisen Bank Ukraine, and I'm driving transformation activities in our bank. I'm in banking industry since 2009, and I joined our company directly from the university and built my career over last 13 years. So this is like my family bank. So I'm not only a boss, but also a mother and wife. I have 7-year-old son and his parrot Jack. And I'm really excited to do some sport and healthy food and engage my family into the habits. So talking about our bank, so this is a bank in top 5 in banking industry in Ukraine and part of the Raiffeisen International group in the Central and East Europe. And we are serving now more than 2.5 million customers. So you can imagine how big we are. So I pass my word to my team. Oleg, please.
Hello. It's a pleasure to be invited to this show. Thank you, Joy. So my name is Oleg Matselyuk. I am Chief Development and Support Manager in Project Management Office in Raiffeisen Bank Ukraine. Mainly, I'm working with strategy and project methodology. Also, besides of work, I am playing football, visited gym, playing poker. Also, from the beginning of this situation in Ukraine, I married and have a dog. It's also big challenges and help me to manage with stress. So nice to meet you. Hello to all guests. Kolya.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. It's a great pleasure to be here with all of you. My name is Mykola Stefaneshin. I'm from Lviv. I'm quite new in the PMO team because I've joined it in August 2021. But it was for me it was a great challenge. Yes, because I have never been working before in Ukrainian market. So before that, I just was working in the shared service centers, yes, of FMCG company, and here in the bank, it was quite challenging and interesting for me to start here. And basically, I have gained a lot of experience, yes, and up to now. And even in this period of time, it's quite intense, and it's really like hard time, yes, for us. But we're learning. We are doing everything we can. Be persistent, and we are professionally as well growing, even in all the circumstances. Yeah, so it's great pleasure, and I hope for a good discussion.
Well, thank you so much, everyone. And Ola, congratulations on your marriage. That's fantastic. And when you say football, for us Americans over here, that could be soccer or that could be football. So I'm assuming you're meaning soccer, right?
Yes, correct.
And I think Ukraine was just made it to the match before qualifying for the World Cup, right? In soccer and just missed, right? But I think it was at one goal. So close.
So close, really. It's the team played very well match, but unfortunately, it's happened probably next time.
Yep.
Show better result.
And Mariia, my introduction to you really came from the PMO Global Alliance PMO Awards last year. I was one of the judges, and your bank had been submitted and was the winner of the European Award for Top PMO in Europe, and then made it to the finals, of course. And what an amazing accomplishment, right, for your bank to be able to do that. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience and what it feels like to be named the best PMO in all of Europe?
Yes, sure. I remember my excitement and all of our team when we find out that we won, and it was a long journey to prepare for the PMO Global Awards. So we were shooting the video, we were writing the scenario, we rebuilt the whole story, and we tried to do it as actual and live as possible. And during the preparation, we tried to focus not only on the nice stories and what are good achievements, but also to show what are the challenges, what are our lessons learned. And, I think this is something which helps us to win, because we truly show the reality, During the contest itself, we were watching carefully under the competition between different countries, and we're even making a bets. Okay, where Oleg was calculating probability. What is the probability of our winning in that competition? And we were excited all over the steps, And when I was listening to announcement, I was really screaming, and I was sitting in the room with one of my board member in our bank, and I told, we won, can you imagine? And he told, oh, Masha, you did a great job, you Miss Europe, and they were then naming me Miss Europe. But it was really a great job of all our team, because everyone was engaged. We did it really jointly, and when we got this chance to present Ukraine on such a great contest, I come to my team and told, okay, guys, now we have really challenging changes, transformation in our bank, and we have such a challenge and opportunity to present Ukraine in the world. And I told, okay, are we ready for that? And they told, of course. When, if not now? And I thought, okay, if you go, I also rely on you. And we did it, you see?
That's fantastic. I love it. We had Lucho Guardado from El Salvador on the prior episode, and his team had won Best PMO in Americas, right from the small country El Salvador. So it's great to have in back-to-back weeks 2 of the top 4 PMOs in the world from last year on the show. So it's fantastic to go through that. So one thing I want to talk about, obviously the most obvious thing, right? Everybody in the world knows that Ukraine's at war at the current moment. But what we don't know is what's the impact of that, right? How does business and day-to-day life go on? I mean, how does a bank function during the middle of a war? I don't know, Mariia, if you want to start that, or one of the other team members.
Yeah, I may start and then pass word to my colleagues. So what shall I say? That during the war, Raiff is caring about safety and financial sustainability of more than 2.5 million customers and 6.5 thousand employees. Currently, in average, 75% of our branch network continue to work. And it was quite hard times to come to this percentage because of occupied territories, because employees were moving to more safe places within Ukraine and abroad. Yeah, and it required a lot of effort from our employees. Even a special group of people was collected, come together to make decisions, to care about all business continuity processes. Oleg, if you want to continue.
Probably to add in general that no one expect that this can happen. Really, we have a lot of news previously that probably Russian can attack us, but no one take it really so seriously, because we have already 8 years of war in the east part of Ukraine, and probably we think that okay, that can something happen in this area and no one else. But it was like scale attack for whole Ukraine. But thanks God, in bank we have this BCM scenario even in this case, and it really worked. Of course, everyone was in super stress, but starting from the morning 24th of July, our board members and key people, they immediately start from the morning, activate this BCM all scenario, start to support people with evacuation, and also take care of our customers, because in country we have a huge panic in the first day, and no one even know what should I do. Should I run? Should I go to Poland? After that, we have the situation that a lot of people leaving their houses, moving to the west part of Ukraine, and it was like very unpredictable situation, because no one knows what is next. We have threats every hours, and you are working and you should go to the bombing safe place, and you take your laptop, you start to connect with your employee colleagues, even have some important call, and really try to work and be more useful in this time, which you really can, and do your maximum in this first day. But after that, the situation is a little bit better. Probably Mykola, you would add.
Yes, I also share a little bit about this and small remark to Oleg. The 24th of February, not July, this nightmare has started. I'm saying nightmare because probably for most of people, for us, it began in the morning, yes, early in the morning. Mariia probably has heard all the bombings, shellings, etc. But even in Kyiv, but in Lviv, as me and Oleg, we received some messages from our friends. Yes, I received, I think, it's 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and to be honest, I couldn't even imagine and couldn't believe. I thought it's something was not happening, not exactly the war. Yes, it was a really harsh and hard moment at that time. But professionally speaking, yes, we started the work, started working from the first day. Yes, so we connected everyone who could, and we just started to move on and started to move based on our BCP and discussing to our basic meetings and to understand what to do. Yeah, and we can proceed the story as well.
Yeah. So if I may also continue. So we as a bank, as well as others on the Ukrainian market, had to ensure that our key business processes are working stable, that business services are available for clients and they have access to their money when they need. As a result, our clients had 24/7 access to their money through our digital platforms, and our call center was always ready to answer all the questions. Bank as well always was focused on its values, and safety of employees was a key priority at that time. So due to people were moving to more safe places, two key topics here appear on our agenda. So first one is how to organize safety for our employees, how to help them to find accommodation, how to help with evacuation, how to ensure they can continue working when they found safe place. And secondly is how also to organize additional working hands in those areas who required them. So it was really great to see how people from other business areas, for example, were ready to work in the call center and open accounts for our clients, like procurement or project managers, scrum masters. Yeah, this was a cool representation of high cross-functional capabilities and real agile in work, in application.
Yeah, that's amazing. I know a lot of companies are always saying, hey, we have a good business continuity plan in place in case the internet goes down for 4 hours, right? But it takes it to a completely different level when your extended network, right, is jeopardized because of cut power lines and of course, invading troops and occupation and stuff of those lines, where ATM machines could get knocked out, and how do people get access to their funds and transfer their money and all those sorts of stuff, especially if they're leaving to Poland or other countries, and they want to make sure they have enough money when they get there, right? They have to have access to those funds, and they're relying on your bank to be able to make sure that happens. You know, usually in the PMO world, we have such high governance for things of how do we approve things. Did the approval process and the governance process change at all because you needed to make decisions maybe more quickly and more immediately?
Yes, from the beginning. So we do not know what happened, as we say, safety first, but regarding of our customers needed, we analyzed a lot of different things currently happening in Ukraine, and a lot of customer needs goes to the call center, and we collect all these needs at which we start to optimize some things, some card, for example, which governance provide some donation to the to the people who live in Ukraine. we open this all account automatically to all our customers in the bank, and yields support to have less already requests to our call center. And also we are working on the short-term reaction. We face with some situation and need to immediately react to start developing something or optimize some process. It was really not easy, but we managed to do this in the beginning.
Yeah, that's go ahead, Mariia.
Yeah, I wanted to enlarge a little bit, and share also from the PMO side. So crucially important factors for our PMO during the war was adaptability and flexibility. So our agile transformation helped us in adapting to the conditions, and react quite fast to new business needs, as Oleg mentioned. So we have stable agile teams which quickly change the priorities in their backlogs according to current business needs, and work hardly to implement fast necessary features and functionality, as the one which Oleg mentioned with DA accounts opening, which gives access to financial aid from the government. On the one hand side as well, major part of our portfolio was put on hold, because priorities shifted. It was like a different situation completely. But on the other hand, we had our clients, their needs, business stakeholders appear with their priorities. And thus, we focused on the short-term functionality delivery. We reprioritized incoming demand and gave our stable teams new purpose. Of course, short-term, as none can plan for longer than 3 months. And, it really helped our people feel that sense of purpose, be helpful, get this inspiration and motivation to continue their lives, to be valued, and deliver some value to the customers.
Yeah, I would imagine, obviously, a tremendous sense of nationalism and pride, right, to rally around one another, to be able to support yourselves as this is going on. How does that play into the values of the bank itself, right? I mean, is every company has their values, right, and their mission that they go towards. But in this circumstance, does that change at all? Or maybe your values actually enhanced the way you are operating?
I can maybe try to answer as well this question, or start. For definitely that all the values, that's a key, that values are helping you in critical situations. So basically all the values we try to establish and to grow before, like the interesting to learn, ownership for any task, for anything which you do in your activities, in your domain, etc. The proactivity, the collaboration between the teams, and as well the thoughts about customers and employees. So everything, all these values, just they increased. Yes, they enhanced in this period, and they started being a basis. For instance, as well as it also helped to establish the good support to employees who were leaving the country. There was also established all the services and possible services for people who were trying to take basically the cash from the places they were in countries, because it was also the big problem. And basically the values also are driving us as well to still be compliant even in hard situation, to be professional and to keep the PMO principles. Yes, what we do.
Yeah, I can imagine that obviously gets stressed, and relying on your teammates becomes maybe even more important than it used to be. Teammates are always important, but in these situations, it's even tougher. Mariia, what was it like at the beginning of this? Oleg and Mykola had talked about that, but how do you, imagine at the beginning of this, right, you want to check, make sure your family is safe and okay, but then your teammates, right? How how did you rally around one another when all of this started?
Yeah. Well, hard to remind myself how hard were those days. First day started with a huge shock, and we tried somehow to continue working, and none was believing that this is real. Yeah, but then checking the news, checking what is going on with your friends, how people started to crazily move from, for example, from Kiev. Yeah, we realized that it is really happening. And of course, after checking with the family that everyone is fine, we also organized a number of chats with our employees. We set up every day kind of town halls, calls to catch up, and we were asking, okay, are you okay? Everything is fine. How is your family? So that was really our routine afterwards, to check early morning every next day if everyone is in safe place. What also was organized by our HR team is online and everyday monitoring where our people are moving, so that we can support them. We organized a helpline and help Telegram chats, which where our employees who were in the safe places help with the logistic and different questions in the community who moved within Ukraine and abroad also. And it was also not only within our team, but also bank-wide. Yeah, there was a communication channel established with the connection to the board of management, who updated employees regularly on what are the updates on the recent situation, what is the organization reaction, and our response action to the restrictions and limitations which were coming from our central bank, from the government. Yeah, how can we support our clients, employees, etc. Yeah, so as we already mentioned, our key focus was really on people safety. And during first 2 weeks, I would say, people were moving around, were moving within the Ukraine. Some decided to move abroad and take their families. And of course, it took some time to have the accommodation, to arrange your life there. But then immediately guys connected to the work. Yeah, they were available. We even track the availability of people and ask, okay, guys, do you have laptop? Are you ready to work? On certain date, it was really crucial to join our operational division and support in transactions and operations which clients were doing in our backend systems. And what we did, we also asked guys, okay, do you have this experience? Are you ready to work part-time and help in this area? And you know what? None refused. So everyone was really excited to help. And with this, they feel this sense of purpose. They wanted to be helpful as much as possible.
Yeah, I didn't think about it that way. I guess maybe work provided a constant for them that was a little bit of normal, maybe in a period of extreme uncertainty, and maybe you could rally around that, right, to be able to come together as a work unit. That's
exactly
thought. Yeah. So, Oleg, from your perspective, right, same sort of question on that, right, is, there's a leadership perspective to this of how do I make sure that we're organized and we're leading our team. And then there's a team member perspective of I need leadership to help me make sure that we're doing this. From both different perspectives, what was your view of how the company came together, or the bank came together and worked together during that uncertainty?
Yes, from the leadership perspective, it's also very important to usually work closely with your team. You usually should check the situation about the healthy, safety, and to be ensure that your team have good opportunity to work closely. Also, it's a very help to work with this huge stress, which also whole people in the bank and in whole Ukraine facing from the beginning. And if people have opportunity to work, it's also good to organize some process and work for them and start to do something that they are feeling that they are still important in this crucial situation. Because of course, a lot of people in Ukraine lose their job, business has a lot of difficulty, and everyone's worried about the future, about will I have work, will I have job, will I have some money to buy food to eat, because everything in the beginning was unpredictable. And due to this, it's very good to closely collaborate with team, have like really short-term focus task, and that every person in your team feel your involvement in this, in events, to support even other department or to proceed with some special task for your current activity with still valid in this situation. And it's also important to speaking and ask about personally in this time, because probably it's a most important thing that when you talk it's every day with your leaders, with your team, even board member, every week talk to all people, and this confidentiality that everything will be good, that we are safe, we should work our best in current situation, what we can, support each other and as one big family like bank, and support our customers, because we all in this situation in our moment, and we should do what we can from our best from each person, because someone can work, someone can't any possibility to work. We do not think to look about these things, but do you personally in this moment. It's probably this approach was taken, and all people like no one that someone do not work. It's even no one talk about this. Everyone do maximum 100%, even more in this difficult time.
So, I have to, on a more lighthearted note, as a dog owner myself, and you had mentioned you had a new dog during this time, but I believe you're in Lviv, so maybe you're not getting the constant sounds and noises, right? For us, my dogs get scared whenever there's fireworks and noises around. Everyone thinks about people. My wife would be very angry at me if I didn't ask about the pets, because she's such an animal lover. How do pets react in this period? Obviously, it's we as people have the ability to comprehend and understand, right? But pets don't have that capability. What's that like?
Yes. So we in the beginning, probably in first week after this war start, it was really stress, and we just took these small dogs, and he just was 3 months after birthday, but currently this help us like to motivate us, to help us to work with stress. It's like new member of our family for now, and it's usually great. But when we have like some alarm air or some different songs, our dogs is of course worried and feels this situation when some dangerous and start lying. But it's also the second part of support me and my wife, that this is our we also take care very much about this our new family member.
And what's your dog's name, and what kind of dog?
Phoebe.
Phoebe. What kind of dog is Phoebe?
It's like Pomeranian.
Ah, all right. So a little one, right? Yeah.
It's small.
All right. And for Mykola, you're the newest team member out of the group. So maybe you didn't have as much of a chance to appreciate the culture of the bank prior to, obviously, all of the war starting. What have you been able to appreciate? Right, you heard Oleg talk about this, and Mariia as well, all this great culture and the ability to adapt and overcome. As a newer person into that, what's that look like for you, right? Do you don't know yet, right, until you get into a situation like that. So what's your reaction as a newer member of the team?
Interesting question. Yeah, definitely. I'm new member, yes, but still I'm not so new. I basically I really had a very good time to experience these values, because you know, in Ukraine we have different types of companies, and I was even a bit worried moving from the place I've been before. And definitely it was this bank, this something which I was really felt well here. Yeah, so it's the place where, as I mentioned, the values, they are important, the people are nice, yes, and definitely it was really a great experience even beforehand, because we already got acquainted with each other, all our team. We already worked with other teams, but what definitely experienced during this start of war, yes, that we started to be even closer. So we became more open to each other. We also became more transparent and open to the people with whom we work, with whom we collaborate externally. So basically, I am really experiencing this openness at this moment, yes, because we feel united, and we want to overcome these threats, this time, yes, together, and to become stronger, to become more resilient. And that's maybe as a person I feel in our team, in Overland Bank at the moment, like the view from the person which is new. Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to even share a story and experience of Kolya. He is chief analyst in the PMO, and when the war started, it was huge demand for the analytical skill, because we wanted to build a dashboard, online dashboard on with the information where our people are located, whether they are moving abroad, and whether they need any support, as well as understanding who are in occupied territories and who need help. So that was the key topic, to build on. And Kolya immediately joined controlling team, who was responsible to build up jointly with HR. And he also showed the very great experience of the cross-functional team collaboration. And it was also positive feedback from the collaboration from other units. So Kolya felt himself how it is.
That's fantastic. And I remember back to the video that you had submitted for the Global Awards, and leadership was such an important. The bank's leadership was involved in that video, and supporters of your PMO. How did they lean on the PMO, or did they lean on the PMO to help in any of the business continuity work, to be able to say, we got to get this done, just get it done? I mean, what was the interaction like with the leadership team?
Yeah, I would say that in the business continuity plan development, we were not so much involved. But when the war started, there was the urgency in making particular projects. Like first one, which we launched, and HR came to us, named Hybrid Work 2.0. Is really how to enable work in this constantly moving environment, that we had different type of employees who stayed at home, who were in occupied territories, who moved within Ukraine, who moved abroad. So for these 4 type of employees, we had to build new processes, new way of working, arrange everything. So from really nothing, we built on that a lot of achievements, and exactly our team helped to achieve that, and we are about to close this project as all our achievements are ticked off. So we really perceived as a professional team within the bank, and our stakeholders and users are coming to get high quality service. And not only, as I also mentioned, we worked with our portfolio. We had to put on hold certain certain projects, certain activities, and our task was to collaborate with key leaders, key transformational leaders, to agree on with them and facilitate the discussion. Okay, what would be our focus for the next short-term period? We can't just endlessly do nothing. As soon as our people are in safe places, they started to ask questions. Okay, how can we help? What shall we do? And we facilitate this decision making.
So, and maybe this is a weird question in my mind. It sounds like a weird question before I ask it, but obviously the shock of the war when it started, but now it's been, over 3 months. Is that now become normal? Like, has your current operations become kind of a normal feeling for you at this point, or does it still seem as if you're working in a business continuity, right, in an emergency type setting?
Yeah, I would say that there are both feelings in parallel. So we continue to focus on our BCM plan and execution. We are restructuring in some areas our operational model, like in operations here. At the same time, people who are in safe places, they need this purpose which we talk about. They need to continue their work and get this also a feeling of stability and believe in tomorrow. So I would say there are two parallel realities. Of course, you can't ignore what is going on, but you also can't continue being desperate, depressed, whatsoever. You try to find some motivation for yourself and say, okay, this is how it is, and we need to move forward. We need to serve our clients. We need to continue working. And that's how it is.
Mykola, I had, when I was asking that question, I saw you shaking your head as well. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree with Mariia, but also just want to say that, we do not have the time for reflection for the moment. Yes, we are in this situation and we need to act. We need to work. We need to bring some value. We need to do something. We need to volunteer. We need to support army, the people in need, and to provide the services to customers. What we currently are doing now. Maybe time for reflection will be a bit later, but we all have some, we know some stories, some things which happening around with the people. Luckily, fortunately, maybe not the closest to us, but we know those people who had due to the war, this who someone died, etc. So we understand this, but we trying to reflect a bit later. Yes, now we need to act and we need to work.
Yeah, and just a comment that had come in for Mariia, right? What a demonstration of resilience despite all odds and teamwork to pivot in such unprecedented times. And obviously, congratulations on the award that you all received last year as well. That's from Natalia. I'm not sure where Natalia is located, but thank you for that, Natalia. It's always good to get that feedback during the show. So what's the future like, right? If, to your point, Mykola, right? Maybe I'll ask this to Oleg, right? You must stay present because this is reality, but there's going to be a future. How do you plan for the future, right? Maria's talked about the portfolio and projects being put on hold for the current time. But how do you get back to normal operations at some point? Or is that still so far into the future that you just don't have to worry about that at this time?
No. We already, from the beginning, we start to react. We collect almost important topic in our bank. We already prioritize them based on, in the beginning, we hold everything, and we already start in the first months already to prepare the top priority things in the bank, start from the first priority and next for the 14 priority. We already give the projects and adaptive team the focus where should they go in the like short period of time. But of course, in parallel, we already tried to see the future, the strategy, what the business outcome can be in future when the war will finish. We have a lot of different scenarios. Of course, for the moment, it's very difficult to say everything is realistic, but based on all scenario, we have like middle term focus, and after that probability like long term also focus for our bank, like to stay the most recommended financial services in Ukraine. And also we have already some like working group which already start to work with like middle and long term, and hope till end of the summer we'll already have like some full clarity in which way we should continue with all, because of course the war have huge impact and every day we have like different situation, but still we should keep focus on everything and go ahead and continue to work and do our best for our customers.
Yeah, if I may add to this point, that of course our current mode is survival. Yeah, we don't know yet how the situation will end up, what would be the territory of Ukraine, and how it ends. But we started to build on our assumptions on the new future and opportunities which are open for our bank. Yeah, and the picture is not so bad. Yeah, we also see good opportunities, and this is something for us to consider for the next periods.
And is the bank a business bank, a consumer bank, a commercial bank? Are you serving both businesses and individuals? And I ask that because I know in some parts of the country they've started some rebuilding, of course, where the Russians have been pushed back. So is that something where the bank is involved, trying to help the community get back through business lending? Are those sorts of operations still in place?
Well, we are universal bank, yeah. So we are serving both corporate clients and private individuals. Mm-hmm. And as of now, we didn't stop our products, so we continue to serve our clients. And honestly, we even did more in favor of clients in the first months. So we canceled all the commissions for the private individuals. We also implement credit holidays for our clients here, because impact was on the whole business and on all industries. Yeah, that's why every industry was trying to support each other, and it was also good to see how our clients were showing their stability, and they were like covered in their loan payments, etc. So it was really, really nice to see. So during the first months, of course, we had this drop, in our income, etc. But it's like the same for all the banks on the Ukrainian market.
So a question for, obviously the whole world was dealing with COVID, and that forced PMOs from around the world to have to react differently and start to do digital transformation projects and bring them through. So maybe your bank had some experience in some sort of emergency setting before the war happens. Of course, the war takes it to a whole nother level. But was COVID in any way a test run to get your practices sharper and your team to be able to execute better at that point?
Yes, 100%. We even were discussing on the first meetings with management board that bad to say, of course, but COVID really helped us and prepared us for the war, because during the COVID, we already moved all our people, especially support functions, to online mode. So all were working from home remotely. It was enabled with the equipment, with access rights, all the environment. And when war started, we all were prepared. So there was no disruption in our processes, in our like cooperation and work model with employees. So it's even enlarged. Yeah, and you mentioned digitalization, and I must say that it become even stronger. Yes, so the need for digitalization become even stronger because we need to serve our clients not only within Ukraine, but also who moved abroad. So we need to set higher level for our services, high availability, and cross-border even.
And Oleg, I saw you nodding as well when I had asked that question.
Yes, because almost bank focus to start the most digital as can be. When from the beginning of the war, we start with cloud migration program. It's like all services which we have on land in some cities, it's immediately start to migrate in cloud, because bank need to be like more flexible and safety from client's perspective, that everything is in not like physical, but everything is in cloud. Also, we have a lot of different security project will also keep safe and efficiency from our customers, that we are safe bank. And of course, in general, we are like super agile and like work team in different conditions, because start from COVID, everyone don't need to go to the office. We are as a PMO team work from different cities in Ukraine, and we are feel fully comfortable. From the beginning, I also start 2 years ago in a bank, and I'm in Lviv, Mariia in Kyiv. Some also employees in Khmelnytsk, in our region from our team, and we are work online together, but together have full alignment, and it's really helps that when we face with this situation in war, we already have this experience that everyone can like just need to laptop and fully can work and support the bank and do their functions really.
Yeah, that's it's kind of as Mariia said, it's horrible, right? COVID that had led to that, but it's good that it did. And for Mykola, a kind of a question for you on this would be, here we are in this middle of this tragedy, obviously that's taking place, and the war is active and everything. For us on the West that just see through news and don't really get to see the day-to-day perspective of what you go through with life, what is it that we should be aware of, right? What's the story that we need to know that maybe you can share with us that we may be not getting, right? What's the reality for life like in Lviv for you?
Luckily, yes, fortunately, Lviv is less impacted territories. Yes, we are on the west part of Ukraine. However, we still had some missile strikes in Lviv, inside the city. So some of them was flying over our heads. Yes, we heard at homes. Yes, and also we also heard the results of it and saw the results of it. But definitely, what we think it's important to not to overestimate, yes, the value of propaganda. Yes, so if of one, also it's important to act as well when the propaganda arises in some countries. It's kind of truth that yes, the discussion and the war started 8 years ago. Yes, and probably the actions were not proper enough in some cases. Yes, maybe to stop the aggression and possible aggression, but maybe not. But it's kind of something which we also have to reflect later on after everything will be stopped. Yes, everything the war will be finished. But it's also in different countries. Maybe I will also share the good example on the previous topic, because due to the reason that we are working in different cities, yes, in different regions, we also had the possibility to back upping each other in this collaboration. For instance, people from departments and which have a relatively were in more safer place, they could substitute the people who were in these places and have to move on. Yes, like Kharkiv and other. So basically, people in departments started to working in the contact center. Yes, they 100 persons in Lviv, for example, started to call to the clients and starting to learn how to talk with clients, etc. So there are a lot of different examples, even in our bank, yes, where people were like backupping and being in these circumstances. Yes.
Yeah, and Mariia, as we're getting close to now the end of the call here, hour goes by quickly. What is there anything that people in the West or other countries can do to support, whether it's, you know, I don't know, thoughts and prayers, or if there's anything more concrete or physical that we can do to support the bank and your team and those who've had to leave the country? Is there anything that you can think of that we might be able to do?
Yeah. I may say some general things, yeah. It may sound to you, yeah, but I think things which all people over the world can do is, of course, donate if possible. Yeah, support those needs which are actual for the army, for the refugees. Another thing which can be helpful and would be helpful definitely is really support of our refugees who moved from Ukraine and looking for some accommodation or some place to live for some time. Yeah, so that would be, of course, helpful as well. And as Kolya mentioned, the third thing would be on the news. Yeah, so really investigate, not to believe to particular one news, but really check for other sources and be thoughtful and make your own conclusions on what is going on. Contact real people from Ukraine who can share the real picture, and then act however you want on that. Yeah, however you can.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, as we wind up here, I want to let all of you, say how can people get in touch with you if they want to, if they're listening to this and they want to reach out and show some support or offer some assistance in any way. What's the best way for folks to connect with you? We'll start with Mariia.
Well, we are available in all the communities like LinkedIn, yeah, Facebook. You may have our contacts, and you also publish them. So yeah, that would be possible. And from the bank perspective, we have our general mailbox. So you may send messages with the help suggested, and it will be analyzed by our team.
All right, fantastic. Oleg, same for you. Any
yes, LinkedIn, Facebook, I am open. Yes, if any questions, of course, I will share.
Do you have your wedding pictures posted and pictures of the puppy?
Not yet. Probably after I will.
All right. And Mykola, same for you?
Yeah, same for me as well. Maybe Twitter as well.
Fantastic. Well, thank you all for joining us. I really do appreciate you taking time to be able to come spend time with us and chat about what's going on there and how you've reacted, right? And how a PMO has been such a valuable asset to the organization to try to create business continuity and try to keep operations moving as closely to normal as you can. And of course, all my support to you and your countrymen to be able to overcome this aggression and get back to your life as you used to know it, and to have a normalized Ukraine at some point in the future. Thank you again to all our listeners, right? Be sure to visit the pmosquad.com/podcast to check out all our shows and guests. We have a great upcoming lineup. We've got Konstantin Riebel and Robert Brisk joining from Germany, Melissa McDonald, Mate Severa, Trek Via will be on talking about the Citizen Developer Program with PMI. Dr. Robert Joslin. Keyed in will be on. Chris Sprague with some of his folks from the PMO Global Alliance talking about their healthcare initiative. Sanjeev Augustine and others, of course. A reminder, we were just live, but we do record these shows, so they're available on your favorite podcast platform. So be sure to subscribe to Project Management Office Hours on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, etc. And thank you to our sponsors, the PMO Squad and the PMO Leader. Without them, none of this would be possible. That's it for now. Office hours are closed. Until next time, I'm PMO Joe, and you've been listening to Project Management Office Hours.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Project Management Office Hours with PMO Joe. You're not alone in your project management journey. We're here to help you achieve your goals. Subscribe to Project Management Office Hours on your favorite podcast platform to catch all of our episodes and hear industry leaders share their story and secrets to success.